Cat Lady. Bene, ora andremo a ispezionare l'ultimo piano un'altra volta. Vediamo cosa succederà. Ok, adesso non voglio ispezionare anche quest'ultimo. E se questo non è il nostro amico, mi sa che sarà Bradley, quel rompipalle che ci ha rotto le scatole prima. Aspetta, no, usiamo Mizzi, credo. Perché se lui è uscito, devo usare Mizzi per scassinare. Ok, perfetto. Puoi farcela, amica?
Now that he's gone, we can get inside.
Yes, let's do that.
I'll close my eyes and you pick that lock, Mitzi.
Okay, but no peeking.
I'd
Okay.
never. You've really hurt my feelings now.
Yeah. Now close them.
Oddio. Che casino. Oh, bene, possiamo entrare quindi.
There, job done.
Bene, entriamo.
Jesus, are these...
Oh, che cavolo.
Relax, Mrs. A. They're just Halloween masks.
Ah, ma che
Oh,
cacchio.
good. That's good. Because I swear, if I see another bloody head...
Maschere di Halloween. Prendere la maschera no, ok, mazzate. Ce ne sono un po'. Piante, vediamo un po'. Esaminare. Non sembra roba illegale, mi sa che... Non sembra roba illegale. Mi sa che semplicemente gli piacciono le piante. Bene. Cassa. Cassa? Vediamo cosa c'è nella cassa. Ah. Cassa, esaminare. Questa cassa è gigantesca, è attaccata al computer di Jessie. Ogni volta che ascolta della musica le pareti devono tremare. Proviamo a vedere cosa c'è qui. Prima di toccare le maschere. PC di Jessie. Accendere. Non funzionerà, sembra che qualcuno mi ha staccato la corrente. Ah, già è vero. Presa, esaminare. Il PC di Jessie è attaccato qui. Se solo avessimo accesso a una presa elettrica funzionante. Ho capito. Prolunga, utilizzare. Vai così. Vai. E io dove l'ho lanciata? Ma dove l'ho lanciata? Vabbè. Susan.
So, who's got windows over this side of the building?
Well, Joe Davis lives right below.
Oddio.
I guess we could also check one flat below Joe's. I just hope the cable's long enough.
Let's find out, shall we?
Ok, ho capito cosa dobbiamo fare. Perfetto. Ah, la maschera, è vero, mi serve per fare la gattara lì. La gatta vedova, quindi devo sceglierne una. Ma quale prendo? Quale prendo per fare la maschera? Diavolo. Quindi maschera da hockey. Maschera da hockey. Vabbè, lasciamo perdere. Quindi il piano vuoto dove si trovava? Mi sembra che fosse al secondo piano o no, primo piano. Esatto, ah, primo eccola piano. qui la presa, vai. Cavo. Collegare. Vai Susan, collega. Oh yeah, vai.
I should be
Ora
able to
torniamo
use that
su.
computer now.
Ok.
Could you give me 5 minutes, Mrs. A?
Sure. Why not?
Ti pareva, dobbiamo
I'll
sempre...
keep an eye on the door.
Ok. Merda, adesso non potrebbe arrivare qualcuno, vero? Non può arrivare qualcuno proprio adesso. Ti prego, no. Non farà arrivare qualcuno adesso. Fammi indovinare, non è neanche lui. Quindi rimane solo uno. Allora, Mizzi?
It's not him either.
Ti pareva? È quel bastardo là, quindi.
God damn it!
Maledizione un corno, anche perché abbiamo capito chi è. A parte Susan, allora è Brian. Ok. Perfetto. Bene gente, quindi abbiamo capito tutti cosa sta per accadere. Andiamo al pian terreno. Bene, ora siamo di nuovo nel magazzino. Quindi abbiamo capito tutti che abbiamo tutto praticamente per fare lo scherzetto a Bradley. Ok, prepariamo il vestito. Tagliare. Qui non c'è niente da tagliare. Come sarebbe? Ah, il cartello, è vero. È selezionato sul cartello. Ok, vai, forbici, tagliare. Manichino da sarta. Vai. Taglia. Susan. Oh, taglia un po'.
We need to make some adjustments.
Direi. Come on. Cuci, taglia, cuci, taglia, cuci, taglia, cuci, taglia. Ah, bello.
Now this is a dress worthy of the cat widow.
Figata.
Why don't you admit it was too small for you?
Ma dai.
Ha ha, bloody ha. Why don't you just shut up? Whoever wore this dress probably hadn't eaten in years. You'd struggle to get a skeleton into it.
Bene, ora?
This is it. We've got all we need.
Great! Are you going to tell me about the cat widow now?
Davvero?
Yes, it's story time, Mitzi.
Davvero?
The legend says there was once a bad man who hated cats. He hated his neighbours too, and his job. And when it rained, he'd curse and smash things. He hated his bald head and his weak, ugly body.
Mi ricorda
He
qualcuno?
probably hated himself the most, although he would never admit it.
I think I see where this is going.
One day, out of pure hatred for the whole world and everything that lives, he captured a family of cats and drowned them all in the river.
Ah,
That day, the sun turned black and all the birds went silent as the 6 kittens struggled for life. But trapped in a strong canvas bag, they never had a chance.
oh.
They all died that day. All but one. The mother cat, in a desperate fight to set herself free, by pure luck clawed her way out of the bag and swam to the shore. She lost everything that day, her beautiful children and her proud husband. Her heart crashed into pieces as she watched their limp dead bodies stolen by the current. Running after them, she followed them for days, for as long as she could. Then, eventually, she lost sight of them. She
Tristissima.
stayed on the bank of the river for a while. The world stopped turning for her, her eyes empty and blind.
Oh.
And then, one day, she slowly slid down the bank and into the cold, dark water. She gave in to it. She let the river take her away too, cover her mouth, her ears, her eyes. But as the water filled her lungs, and she started slipping into darkness, there was another strange feeling that burst in her mind like a ball of flames. Anger, rage even. Her last craving, before she drowned, was for revenge, for blood. And so she returned, reborn and changed, a cat widow, veiled in black, mistress of the cats.
Wow.
Her body of a young woman, but her eyes of a cat, and her face, white, rotten, face of a corpse. Those who saw it rarely lived to tell the tale. She would get her revenge on all cat killers and cat torturers. But there was someone she had to see first. Someone special. Someone she really hated the most.
Che succede?
As the evening came, it was strangely quiet in the man's flat. As he lived alone, he usually liked to fill the silence with the sound of radio or TV shows. But that night, he switched them all off, feeling anxious and tired after work.
E quindi? Che successe?
He tried to sleep, but couldn't. And for once, there wasn't anyone there he could blame for it.
Oh mio Dio.
As he stared through the window, he kept thinking about how much he hated that view. He liked it once, a long time ago, when his wife was still there and they were happy together. Suddenly, he heard knocking on the door. Some part of him was glad, because that meant he could take it out on whoever decided to bother him.
Ma? Oh mio Dio. Beh, una bella sorpresa, amico mio, veramente. Ma proprio bella. Ma bella tanto, eh. Una bellissima donna. Molto sexy anche. Oh cielo. Voglio osservare.
There was nobody there. He almost felt disappointed, but before he turned to walk away, he suddenly noticed something down the hall.
Ah, posso decidere io la storia. Che bello! Sul muro si stagliava l'ombra gigante di un gatto. Egli notò l'ombra di una figura ammantata. Il cadavere sventrato di un gatto appeso al Oh. Come la voglio fare? Oddio, che bello! Allora, vediamo. Questa è proprio brutta, di cattivo
The
gusto.
dead body of a disemboweled cat hung on the radiator.
Ma non è vero, vero? Aspettate, ma ho fatto ammazzare il gatto. No!
Are you kidding me? Where would we get a dead cat from? I think that would be taking it a step too far. I'm sure you'll agree.
No.
Okay, fair point. So, right, that didn't actually happen. Let's try again.
Ho sbagliato completamente. Maledizione. E quindi?
He noticed a shadow of
bene.
a cloaked figure standing ahead.
Ok, d'accordo. Questa riusciamo a farla, no? Vero, Mizzi? Ce la facciamo? Ce la facciamo, vero, Mizzi? Ce la facciamo a farla, vero, Mizzi? E adesso? Mi sembra che Mizzi non si sia lamentata, quindi possiamo farlo.
He stopped again. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Sì. Il teschio di un gatto no.
Someone wrote "cat killer" on his door.
Esatto. E quindi? Un treno?
He had a passion for trains. Although he hated being a train driver, he had always enjoyed watching them move.
Ah.
But now, His train model was moving all on its own. He was absolutely certain he'd left it switched off. And yet, there it was, running at crazy speed, remote control missing. Something was seriously wrong, and that something had entered his home now too. He hoped he was just imagining things, tired as he was. But there was another surprise waiting for him in his bedroom.
Vediamo.
Cat Widow is here, was written all over the wall.
Come la mettiamo così?
As in a dream, he went to the kitchen to get a drink.
Sì. Ok, bello. Oddio, è uscito il sangue. Come hanno fatto? Bene. A questo punto
There was
dovrebbe
no
urlare.
water. He knew there were valves in the basement that turned it off, but no one's been down there for years.
Oddio.
He felt sick. None of this made any sense.
Già.
And yet, deep down, he knew what he did to the cats was wrong. There was a part of him that almost wanted to be punished. The part he tried so hard to hide. He thought he'd heard something in the corridor. Was there someone there with him?
Può darsi. È Mitzi. No, è... Oddio. Oddio. Avanti. Avanti,
His
Susan.
head was spinning. He felt ambushed, trapped, like an animal. He had to get out of there.
Vai.
Getting really scared now, he decided to call the police.
Ma così è un problema. Ma taglia i fili del telefono, no? Vero? Li hai tagliati, vero, Susan? Dove sta guardando? Vabbè. Ehi! Non c'è campo.
His phone was of no use. The SIM card had been removed, and that wasn't even the worst part. There was a photo of a black cat set as screensaver. He remembered this cat. He'd watched that strange pest control man put it in a cage and into his van. He'd looked at it through the window for a while, then pulled the curtains and went to bed.
Tosto. Tosto, tosto. Fermare il treno no, eh?
He stopped, paralyzed. He'd heard something right in front of him. A whisper. More like a purr. She was there, in the dark corner of his living room, waiting. Black veil covering that pale, dead face. And yet, he could almost feel Cat Widow's eyes piercing through him.
Oh mio Dio. No, il fucile non ce l'ho.
She came closer, like a ghost, and swiftly removed the veil.
Wow. Oddio. Oh mio Dio.
She came back for him, to take him to the river, to make him pay for what he'd done.
Oddio.
As he looked into her eyes, he could feel the world spinning around him, his knees go weak, his pants suddenly wet around his crotch. As much as he hated life, he didn't want to die either. Inside, he was just a big, stinking coward. And then he fainted.
Vai, giù, svieni. Bye bye.
Did you see his face? I knew he'd fall for this.
Yeah, we scared the living shit out of him. Now that's teamwork. Are you sure he won't know it was you, though?
Oh, he probably will, once he's had time to think about what happened. But he's too proud to ever admit he's been beaten by a woman. I know him just about enough to know that.
Let's hope so. I don't want you to get in trouble because of me.
No. That was something I had to do for myself. And I feel much better for it.
Anch'io.
The only problem now is that we still haven't found Eye of Adam. Because it definitely isn't Brian.
Cosa?
I've searched through his laptop and all I found was a load of porn.
Let's cross him off the list.
E quindi? E quindi?
Well, that means we've checked everyone. We've hit a brick wall. Perhaps I was wrong. Maybe he doesn't live here at all.
I think we need to sleep on it. And we might get some more ideas in the morning.
Quindi abbiamo fatto tutto
Shall we
questo
head
per
back
niente?
home?
Non è possibile.
I do feel tired. You're right, we need some sleep.
Merda.
Really wish there was an elevator in this building.
Pure io.
What's that? A note?
Ehi.
What does it say, Mrs. A?
Ehi.
You will not believe it.
Oddio.
Meet me at midnight, both of you. I will wait. Flat 5. Door will be open. Do not fear.
Oh merda.
Eye of Adam.
Oh merda.
Flat 5. That's the old guy.
Cosa?
Can't be. It can't be him.
Mio Dio.
I guess we'll find out. At midnight. We've got a few hours until then. Let's get some coffee.
Va bene. Basta. Ci vediamo al prossimo Let's Play, gente. Spero vi sia piaciuta questa bellissima leggenda della gatta diavola. E ci vediamo al prossimo Let's Play. Ciao!
just you and me, my love. No one will find us here. Stop worrying, Ivy. It will be all right. I will always love you. You know that. I'm gonna make you all better.